What's up, my Fina loves? This is Fina D coming to you all from Fina Team and News. Before we get into this, I want to say thank you all for your love and support and your patience. Most of you are aware that a few weeks ago I wasn't doing too well and I took some time off YouTube. When you own businesses and you do that, even though you have people in place to handle certain things, you still have your own way that you handle things. So that just led to me being behind on everything. I'm catching up with my businesses. I'm back in school completing my PhD. So with all of that, being under the weather put me all the way behind. So I do apologize for being late with these content. I'm aware that BravoCon happened a while ago. Most of you have moved on, but I do not throw away my work. And I did record certain things from BravoCon, so, hang in there with me. So during BravoCon, the OLG had a panel. They had a family panel. The one we are focusing on today, or in this video, is the one that just had them on stage. That's the image right there. That's exactly what they look like at BravoCon 2022, okay? There was another moment where Kandi did join her mother on stage with other Bravo celebrities, during that segment. But I'm talking about this one. I did hear that allegedly Kandi and Todd were in the audience during this panel. Kandi's mother relationship with her husband, Todd, has always been a terrible one, okay? We've seen how she's treated him, talked about him. Nothing has changed. So during this panel, the question was, if she could replace Todd with anyone, who would it be or what would she do? And she said, but if I could have replaced Todd, I probably would have picked anyone that had a decent job. She then continued, I wanted someone that was in the same financial realm that Kandi is. She should be with someone that's on her same financial scale. And look at the reaction. They're like, really, sis? You're going there again? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? You're doing this again? Aunt Berta over there with that same hand going up, acting shocked, her mouth all open, like she wasn't the one talking about it's a scheme that Todd set up. Of course, that wasn't the entire segment. That's the segment that caught people's attention, and that's why we are discussing it. If you really watch the panel, she was answering other things, and then she completed that with, but if I could have. That means she was saying something else before the but. Of course, the family would have been just fine with or without the restaurants and the show. Kandi takes care of her people. But it was Todd who encouraged Kandi to open these different restaurants. It was Todd who came up with the show idea and talked to Kandi about it, and they pitched it to Bravo, okay? She talked about this over and over again. She says, my husband doesn't get the credit. People always say Kandi, and that's the reason why in the video I did when Kenya went to the play, if you watched that video, some of you were laughing. I kept saying, and Todd. Kenya kept saying, Kandi, Kandi, Kandi. And I know Kenya meant well because Kandi is a girl. She doesn't have issues with Todd. But when someone is your friend, you're just used to saying their name over and over again. So I had to keep saying in that video, and Todd, Chad, Todd. And some of you were laughing, but I was like, Todd is the reason why as well that he and Kandi now, they have more producers credit. I mean, Todd been doing his thing as a producer, but now bringing Kandi on board, so he's elevated Kandi life and she's elevated his life as well. They are a team and they're doing an amazing job together. Now let's talk about the decent job comment that she made. She wished Kandi, would have ended up with a man with a decent job. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, regardless of Escape and everything else Kandi was doing before the Real Housewives of Atlanta, this show has elevated her daughter and her daughter's career to a completely different level. Your daughter did not meet this man on the side of the road. And even if she did, so what? But she met this man working on the very platform that contributed to the generational wealth that Kandi and Todd are building. Everything, the OLG and all of that was born on the show. Where did your daughter meet Todd? On this very platform. The man had a job. So what does she mean by decent job? Working for a show like The Real Housewives of Atlanta is beyond decent to me. Her mother is definitely wrong. And I just believe that, had Kandi really put her foot down, it wouldn't have gone this far. Let's get into these comments and tweets from social media. Absolutely, but at the end of the day, she is someone's mom. Example, Todd Tucker, who's married to Kandi, never disrespect Mama Joyce, and she equally talk a lot of crap about Todd. Mama Joyce really needs to stop. Todd obviously loves Kandi to death, and she has to stop being so bleeping rude. Kandi should not let it slide so easily anymore. It's been so many years. I love my mom, but we had some serious issues if she treated my spouse that way. Mama Joyce is so rude and disrespectful. She wouldn't even be making money at OLG if it wasn't for Todd. And remember what she did to Todd's mother? I'll pass on her and her sisters. Too mean for me. I agree. It's hurtful. You can love your mom, but don't let her disrespect your husband. Mama Joyce would not like it when grandkids get married and have a husband to disrespect them like she does Todd on national TV. It's a bleep shame. Mama Joyce is like the mother-in-law from hell. She needs to stop disrespecting Todd and stop interfering in married couple business. As a grown woman and a boss, she is smart enough to know when a man is using her, and clearly that is not the case with Todd. Mama Joyce cares more about Kandi's money than her feelings. During that panel, Kandi was asked, who would you trust more to control your money, Mama Joyce or Don Juan? And she said Don Juan because she feels like her mom wouldn't be too nice to her husband. So Kandi is aware about all of this, but it's the fact that, she's not putting her foot down. No one is saying disrespect your mother, but there's still a way to let them know, absolutely not. You will not speak to my husband that way or talk about him that way. There's still a way. It was spot on, and I agree. Mama Joyce needs to relax on Todd. That man ain't did nothing to that lady. I need Todd and Kandi not to address this on TV. Deal with it privately. I would never understand why Mama Joyce chooses to disrespect Todd publicly like this. I mean, if they want a storyline, they might address it on TV. I love Kandi, but loves respect for Mama Joyce because she disrespects Todd. It's not cute or funny. He is respectful to Mama Joyce, a super father, great husband, and deserves the same respect. If I were Todd, I'd stop speaking to her and would not occupy the same space as her. Well, that's the grandmother of his children. That's his wife, mother. Yeah, I know Kandi doesn't play about her mom, so of course Todd is going to play nice. Hear me out. I wonder if my Joyce keeps up this Todd isn't good enough narrative because Kandi encourages it. I remember when they were getting along well and Kandi ran back and told Todd something she said. He looked surprised or disappointed. I understand Todd completely. Mama Joyce needs to stay out of their marriage. Where is her man? She only acting like that because of money. Kandi is her bank, and she is jealous of Todd, old, miserable, and rude. I always defend Mama Joyce, but she needs to chill out. Now that was disrespectful. Todd has elevated Kandi, and I am sure that he had his money before marrying Kandi. She acts like Kandi is a billionaire. Why does Kandi allow her to do that? Well, Mama Joyce is her own person, but I guarantee you had Kandi put her foot down the first time and said, Mama, I respect you, but this cannot go on. And I mean, really shut it down, not no, let me be quiet about it, her mom would have moved differently. But Kandi just sits there and is quiet and allows it to go on. Yes, Kandi's mother is her own person, but Kandi did not shut it down either. Kandi Burr's mom is the worst person on reality TV. I cannot. Like, I'm rewatching their wedding. Mama Joyce hits Todd so much, and Kandi not dumping him for her was probably the first time Kandi didn't listen to her. I'm reading tweets regarding the Mama Joyce and Todd situation, but when is people gonna realize that Kandi laughs in situation as a coping mechanism, not because she actually thinks the situation is funny? At some point, whether Kandi like it or not, but Todd is facing verbal abuse from Mama Joyce, and he will have a breaking point, and their family dynamic might be affected. Mama Joyce has been disrespecting Todd for near a decade because Kandi refuses to check her. Eventually, something is gonna have to give. It's Kandi's fault for allowing this behavior from my Joyce to continue and never setting boundaries. Todd has helped Kandi grow her net worth, but her mother continues to make comments like that about him as if their kids won't see or hear it. I love my mother, but I would never allow her to disrespect my husband like this. It's clear Mama Joyce sees Todd as a threat to her access to Kandi's money, and that's all that matters for her. People are saying basically her mom keeps doing this in hopes that Todd would get fed up and leave the marriage, but what mother will want her daughter to go through that? She's happy. The man is an amazing dad, an amazing husband. Yes, no relationship is perfect. Leave her daughter husband alone. She's happy. Be happy for her. Right at the end, the interviewer says, Kandi and Todd are in the room. Then why would you even ask Joyce the question? For the drama? It's not funny, not cute, extremely disrespectful to Todd, mostly, but Kandi as well. That's her mom, but she has to stop giving her these platforms. Maybe the person working the camera didn't know that they were in the room, and that's the reason why we did not get to see their reaction. But we've seen this over and over again. She said this to his face. She's been disrespectful. And Kandi sits there and does nothing. Like she was a mama. And that's it. It's terrible. I'm going to be honest. This was disgusting. Joyce is speaking on the only man who Kandi has had kids with that has actually taken care of them. Speak on it. Kandi had a whole storyline because of Todd. He was gainfully employed when she met him. Where is her man at? She makes me sick. Exactly. Riley's father is still doing interviews disrespecting Kandi and Riley, and he is still not being a father to his daughter. All I will say, and what I've been saying since season 5, what you done correct, you condone. Kandi, having never really clipped this behavior, has enabled it. If Todd ever gets fed up and decides to leave, it will be warranted. Long overdue and nobody's fault but Kandi's. Sad thing is, she would act like she won't understand why he's leaving if he did. All right, so I'm going to post the rest of the comments on the screen through the outro, and you all can put the video on pause and read them, because if I continue to read, we will be here all day. So there you have it. I'm wishing Kandi and her family the best. I'm wishing all of you well, and take care. My loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.